Cross yourself and hope you die with soulful state of mind. Every day you'll glaze right over that which gives you life. That should give you life. Seasons change and so do babies right before our eyes. No need for religion, baby, I can see the sky. I have seen the sky.
I love my job. I really do. I give people rides on my pedicab. Most of the time they want to go to the clubs, restaurants, and hotels of downtown Austin. No matter where they want to go, I take them. Short rides, long rides, uphill, downhill, big people, little people, crazy people, drunks, no matter what. I don't care. I just keep going. Keep pedaling, keep spinning. Breathe and pedal, breathe, pedal. Just keep going, keep spinning. Then, at the end of the night, I've made some money, I've exercised, and I've had a lot of fun. And the drunks, the fights, and the overt sexuality, they can be quite amusing. Give me one story.
Man, they're inappropriate.
I think I took 4 girls from Kenichi to 6th Street. The second I sort of mount my bike, I feel a hand under my grundle, if you will. And it wasn't just a slap or a pat on the ass. There was cuppage and insertion, and it was pretty vile. And I get off the cab and I just like look really sternly at them and sort of look them down and say inappropriate. And I get back on and take them to where they want to go, and they give me $3. 4 bitches.
I pick up this guy with his girlfriend, he's drunk, and from Raz 6, they want to go to their parking garage on 4th. You know, I'm pedaling standing up, and then I feel the hand, right there. And I feel it. She's digging in, like I feel the finger in my. Oh, she give me a little poke. And I didn't know what to do. I didn't want to sit down because I didn't want to hurt her. Break her hand sitting down, so I had to ride the whole way standing up with that finger like right there on the entryway. The boyfriend doesn't do anything about it.
There's these 3 midget chicks in my cab, and they want to go to like the gay area and whatnot. One of them tried to give me a reach around on the way there. Well, her hand was too small, her arm was too small, let's put it that way, and her reach wasn't as prominent as she wanted. She ended up falling out of my cab to try to give me a reach around. And
She fell out of your cab. The midget fell out of your cab.
Trying to give a reach around.
The lesbian midget fell out of your cab trying to give you a reach around.
Yep, and I still have not had 2 lesbians 69 in my cab yet.
I gave this girl, she picked me on, she was like with her boyfriend or something. She picked me on, she's like, I want her. I gave him a ride, and they like tipped me a reasonable amount, and then she was like, all right. It was like a real nonchalant boob grab, like she was giving me like a high five, just like a boob grab. And off.
Just grabbed you, huh?
Just came up and was like, all right. Right on the boob.
I was once sprayed with breast milk. She's pulled her breast out and she squirts from like 2 feet away. She just sprays my face.
Yeah. How was it?
I was just kind of shocked. I didn't taste anything. It's kind of sprayed all over my face. I felt it. And she says, did you taste it? And I no. And she sprays me again. She like squirts me in the face. Just hits me.
Yeah, some of them are more, not eggs because they then you're going to immediately go to the sex end of it, but just stuff that I would prefer my grandma not hearing about in case this documentary makes it real big. I got paid to suck on a girl's nipple. I got a $50 bill, like that.
She starts telling me, starts talking nasty to me as I'm driving her, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is kind of going where I kind of expected it would go. I dropped off at her house. She's like, are you going to come in? I go, sorry, baby. I don't fuck Republicans.
As we go up, she tells me that I look a lot like her husband from behind. So we went on. I took her to her place at the Omni. She was staying at the Omni, and she asked me to come inside. So I had to say no. Although,
Why did you say no, Chief?
Well, I do like older women, and she was physically fit and everything, but I just, her tip was kind of low, mainly. If she'd tipped me more, who knows? So.
Last year, had a guy piss out of my cab going down the alley.
What was that like?
I didn't really care. He was laughing all the time as long as he tipped me big and didn't piss on my upholstery, so.
I hate when that happens.
What happens in the cab stays in the cab. As long as we can get the stains out.
Nice ass.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for that compliment.
Your little Cassie has ass.
Pedicabbers get all the love. Woo!
But it's nice. I mean, you can ride the pedicabs. You can
those things.
be out on the bikes.
Don't get in those things. Those things are dangerous.
What? They're great. I love them.
No. For people around the country, these are like folks who went and bought old bicycles and just like hammered a milk crate on them, and now they're driving people up and down the streets.
Oh, it's like a rickshaw. I love it.
There's money riding on this. There's money. We don't let them first. We don't win.
Don't you want to drive? Don't you want to drive fast? Don't you want to drive fast? Don't you want to ride?
You guys and you gals that I work
The pedicab community.
with, like my peers, I've never met so much a community than in my whole life. Before I started pedicabbing, there was a lot of tragedy in my life, and I had insta-family, and I'll never forget that.
I love pedicabbing because it's all, out here on the streets, it's me. I do it the way I do it, and yeah, I've got a boss that I pay some money to at the end of the night, but this is my style. I do this my way, and get a great workout. Got a great community of friends. I basically came to Austin in January of '06, and boom, got involved with pedicabbing. I've had a badass community of friends ever since.
So when I started pedicabbing, I did it because I was doing bicycle street races, and I thought those guys were badass, and I had respect for them. I wanted to be one of those guys. Wanted to have that level of respect for myself, and I've gained it. I think what made us badass and what gave us the right to have that level of respect and display our own ego as somebody who's badass in any sort of way at all. The reason we're badass is because we'll take any ride for any amount of money. We work for tips. That's what makes you strong. That's what makes you badass. That's the culture, and that's what the spirit of pedicabbing is.
Oh my God, they are racing. Oh, my skirt just flew off.
Did you race in the Criterion? Who did? Who raced? How'd you do? Okay.
Second place. Awesome. I won the sprint lap, and I came in second. That close to coming in first. It sucked, dude. I almost beat the guy that I wanted to beat. There's like this 15-year-old girl keeps beating me like over and over. And I fucking smoked her the other day. It was awesome.
15-year-old girl.
Dude, I know. She's a badass though. She's so hardcore.
And I'm just kind of chilling there, and Lance Armstrong comes up to me, and he wants a ride. He wants a pedicab ride. He starts getting into my cab. He's got like 5 or 6 people in his entourage. And then one of the people in the entourage says, hey, well, maybe Lance should be riding the bike. And I'm like, well, shit, this guy knows a thing or two about riding a bike. Didn't bother me.
So Lance gets into my bike. He's got like 5 people in the cab, and this other pedicabber guy named Alex gets the rest of the people into his cab, and they start racing over to the ranch, which is about, I don't know, 8 blocks away. So there's no room for me in my cab, so I end up just chasing after Lance, who's driving my cab, riding my bike with like 5 people in there, and I'm pushing his ass uphill because between you and me, Lance can't take the hills. So yeah, I got to push Lance uphill with like 5 people in the cab while my buddy Alex kicked his ass at a pedicab race.
Alex, is that how it happened? Blow by blow?
So, yeah.
Okay, John was pushing those guys.
John was pushing them up Lavaca Street. From Fort Lavaca.
Lance Armstrong, the world champion.
Yeah.
It's a 7-time Tour de France. That Lance Armstrong.
I'm going to the Hilton. It's around 8 o'clock. It's still daylight outside. I'm going to the Hilton to use the bathroom. It's the only place worthy of downtown using the bathroom. And right outside in the front, toupee kind of halfway on, pretty funny, but Burt Reynolds flags me down. Comes up to me, he's like, hey Chief, let's go to Star Bar. You know where that's at? I was like, sure, I'll get you there. So it's about like, a 13-block journey from where we were at. So I take 4th Street, and around 4th and San Jacinto about, I forgot this pedicabber's name, but he doesn't pedicab anymore, but he rode a trailer. And he's like, at least 20 feet in front. He taps me on the back, he's like, hey boss, check this out. Jumps out at the other pedicabber, trying to jump into his cab, totally fucking misses. Pops his knee, rolls into oncoming traffic. And I like stop, and I'm like freaked out as fucking could be. Gets up, laughing his ass off. And even the other dude was just like, and I was like, yeah. And hands me a fucking $50 bill, laughing, walks right off, and I was like, dude, I could still get you there. He's like, hey, no, I'm good, thank you.
Hey, did his toupee fall off?
No, it actually stayed on better than it was at the thing. It's like if he was holding it as if he
I gotta get the name of that brand of toupee. You guys need a ride? You need a ride?
And all of a sudden, like, a bunch of guys get outside of Spiro's, they're yelling at each other in the middle of the street with all the traffic going. Well, I see a flash of, like, metal, like, people pulling out metal. Not just one guy, but like the whole crowd practically. They run over like back onto the sidewalk, and you see like a gun go off. You see a flash and I hear like this big bang, maybe only one shot, and I see this guy, blood splatter out of his head. So I got the fuck out of there, because I was stuck in traffic with 2 girls that were screaming and like, what the fuck did we just see? I took him to their car and then swung back around and talked to the cops, and yeah, saw the guy just on the floor with blood, on the ground with blood everywhere.
After getting hit in the pedicab, a few weeks later, the first time I went back out on my bike, I ran into a taxi. And actually, like 2 weeks before I got hit on the pedicab, a nun ran into me in a minivan. I was on a big group ride, and I was coming down Stokes Garage on 12th Street, and T-boned a police car and shattered the windshield in my face. And then even after that, I was at a concert, I was at Go-Go Bordello, came out, got a slice of pizza, and this guy was about to get his ass kicked by these like 3 or 4 guys, and I was trying to keep him from getting his ass kicked, and then he decided he wanted to fight me, so I was beating him up, and he tore one of my plugs out and tore my earlobe loose, and bit my leg. I saw a scar on my leg.
Probably my craziest pedicab story. I picked up these 2 girls. One of them was sober, one of them was very drunk. So we're going along. Drunk girl is just running her mouth. I don't even know what she's talking about. And I hear a little scuffle. Next thing I know, sober girl is flying in front of the cab, like face plant all the way, sliding across the asphalt because I was moving. And I turn around and I look, and drunk girl's like falling over the side of the cab. And I'm like, what happened? And the sober girl's like, she pushed me out. And I'm like, holy shit. So I jump off my cab and I run over and I help her up. I'm like, are you okay? And I'm checking her, her elbows and her knees and her face and anything that would have, skidded across the asphalt. And finally I go back and help drunk girl, and then it was like another half hour of making sure they were okay, making sure they got where they needed to go safely. Drunk girl needed to put something in her body because she was like on the verge of passing out. She didn't even know her name. It was pretty nuts. And amazingly, she skidded like 4 feet across the asphalt face first, and she didn't have a scratch on her.
My ride was the best ride. I will take this ride anytime, anywhere, anytime. You fit 4 people here.
It's amazing, isn't it?
That's great. That's great. You got strong legs. Strong legs. Oh, look at those calves. I'm getting a bite. Look at those calves. Oh my God. Are you okay, dude?
He backed up into you, dude.
Kick his ass, I think. Get up there.
3 guys, and one of them takes a swing at me, and I dodge him. And then his buddy grabs me from behind. One of the 3 guys grabs me from behind, and he, tries to hold me while the other guy takes a punch. So the guy gets back, and he's like ready to take a swing, and I just dropped all my weight, and the other guy gets hit in the face.
No way.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then so again, the same thing. I stand back up, the guy's still holding me, and I'm just like waiting until the dude swings. He takes another shot and I drop, and he hits the guy in the face again.
Fucking 3 Stooges, man.
I forgot to tell the one part. The first part is that one of the 3 guys grabbed my shirt.
Hang on, Chief. You guys need a ride? It's fun. Who wants a ride? Give me your best pedicab story, okay?
All right, I was going down 6th Street with these 4 guys, 2 guys at the bottom, 2 guys sitting on their laps, and we were going down, and the whole time they were like, hey pussy, hey faggot, you're a faggot, look at you, you're a pussy. And so we're going down the hill, and there's this guy, and he's like balding, and he's this really beautiful woman, and they're like, hey baldy, you should get with a different woman, you don't deserve her, you're bald, you're a faggot. And then all of a sudden the light turns red, and I'm just like, and so they're yelling at other people while we're at the red light. And the guy walks up right behind him, and he's just like, boom, right in the back of the dude's head. And he's like, who's a faggot now?
This guy that looked like a total hick, man, just like, country hick. His pants all tight and everything. He's like, hey man, give me a ride to my truck. I was like, man, where's your truck? I don't know. And I'm just like, man, it just doesn't work. So he gets in, he's like, hey man, you got some weed? And I was just like, what? He's like, come on, man, I know you got some weed in those saddlebags. I was just like, no, man. I was like, fuck no, I don't have any weed. He's like, no, man, I know you do. And I was just like, no, I'm sorry, man. He's like, was that what you wanted? I was like, I'll drop you off. No. Hey, man, you got any crack? I was just like, what? Like, yeah, man, you got some crack. I was like, I don't have any crack, man. I was like, I was like, they just did a story on the news, and it was like when that story had come out about how East 6th Street, how they're like, all the crack was being sold over there by the police station. And I was like, yeah, man, the story came out, and I was like, I'll just drop you off over there, and I was like, go about your merry way. He's like, yeah, take me over there. And we're going over there, and like the whole time, it's like he's trying to incriminate me, man. He's like, hey, man, you sure you don't have any? And I was like, no, man, I don't have any. And he's like, how much is it gonna be? And I'm just like, dude, I don't smoke crack, never bought crack, never like touched it, seen it, anything, man. I was like, I don't have any idea. And he was just like, all right, cool. So I go up the alley over there, right? And I drop him off right over there by the creek. He's like, just wait here for me. And I was like, all right. So he goes, man, and I'm just like, dude, this guy's gonna get jumped. He's just like this little white dude. He goes up to like the first crackhead there, and he's just like, hey, man. He does like this, something, and the guy's like, oh, like waves him down over there, and I'm just like, oh man, this is already starting to seem sketchy. Goes down there to the other guy. The other guy does something, like tells him something. I don't know what it is exactly. I'm starting to think like, what? This is getting really weird, man. All of a sudden, this little fucking dude throws this guy up against the fucking wall, pulls out handcuffs, fucking has handcuffs on the guy. The other guy's like running, he's like, nah, fucking goes, bam, throws him, has like 4 guys up against the wall within like a minute, all in handcuffs, fucking paddy wagon rolls up. I was just like, what? Like out of nowhere, man. And I'm just like, fuck. And then he didn't tip me too, man, but I wasn't even about to stick around.
You
like,
got
ask
0
questions.
for that?
I got 0 for that, right? I should have
Undercover cops do not tip.
Move out of the street. Move out of the street.
Tell me about your education level.
I graduated in 3 years from Stanford University with a degree in English, and I just graduated from UT Austin with a master's in Middle East Studies.
What do you do when you're not pedicabbing?
I'm in graduate school. I'm studying geography, city planning.
And what is your master's thesis about?
It's about statistically measuring the effectiveness and safety of bike transportation networks in cities.
When I'm not pedicabbing, I'm in school for special education and behavioral studies, and I'm actually about to start working at a daycare for the summer. So that's about it right now.
Pedicabbing is one of basically 4 jobs that I have. I'm a clinical psychologist. I moved to Austin because I went to grad school here at UT. So I work part-time as a psychologist at the University of Texas Counseling Center. I have a private practice. I'm a licensed psychologist here in the community and have a private practice open for business. And I'm adjunct faculty at University of Texas. I teach statistics in the School of Social Work.